and good morning, actually to One City Rabia from Sarawak Sewerage Department, and also to all students. Welcome to this webinar session. We are very delighted to have One City Rabia to be with us today to deliver a talk about wastewater treatment. One City Rabia is currently a civil engineer at Sarawak Sewerage Department or Jabatan Pembentungan Sarawak. Yeah. So the department is basically responsible for the operation and management of the public sewerage system. Correct me if I'm wrong, Puan Siti. Okay. So we are very lucky to have the right person
Yeah,
to
correct,
talk
correct.
about. So we are very lucky to have the right person to talk about wastewater treatment from the expert's perspective. I'm not an expert in wastewater, so we have the right person to talk about it today. So without further ado, I'd like to invite Puan Siti to deliver her talk. Over to you, Puan Siti. Yeah, you can start share your slide.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Norashikin, for inviting me to give this talk. We usually do physically, it's more interesting, but fortunately there are many of you. But if you are interested to visit our plant in the future, we can have another sessions this outside of the course itself lah. You can always contact us or emails, then we will arrange it. We actually glad that people want to know about the wastewater treatment plant, protecting our environment. So I believe this today will maybe one or two or few of you will help us in the future lah, in helping us to run the plant and the process itself. Okay, I'll share my screen here. But my slide will be more on the process and the project itself. So very less details in biotechnology, but I hope the students can link lah. I use English and Bahasa Sarawak. Is it okay?
Yeah, okay, sure. No problem.
Is it a one-way or communication or webinar or a two-way communication?
If let's say the students have the questions, they can ask at the end or in the chat box. So you just proceed with your talk.
Yes. Okay, can you see my slide?
Yes, you can see.
Okay, so this is usually the slide that we use for the students visit. Usually we welcome students from UNIMAS, Polytechnic, UCTS, and Swinburne University. They are same with UNIMAS lah, that they are putting visit to the treatment plant as one of the assignment or task that they need to do during the course itself. So if you can see here, this is on the right, this is a picture taken at the effluent discharge of our treatment plant. So you can see the water is looks like clearer and better than the Sungai Sarawak River itself, that the kids, when we told them to, they don't play with this water because of it's from basically a wastewater lah, a treated wastewater, but it's based on the picture itself, they are having so much fun. So my briefing today will cover the Kuching Wastewater Management System itself, and together with the process of the treatment plant, the sewer network. This is usually a bonus maybe bonus for this course, but usually it will relates to the civil engineerings lah. So what we do at the treatment plants, what are our roles and responsibilities, what the operation activities and other treatment plants that we operate on the other side of the Sarawak, in Cebu, Miri, and Bintulu. Then we can have a question and answer. But if you have any questions or you wonder, things, then in between my presentation, then you can just ask, okay? So our treatment plant is considered as a restricted area where only authorized people are allowed to go in. So we are a non-smoking zone plant. So all the personnel or also visitors, they have to wear a proper shoes when they are in the treatment plant. We practice buddy system because we are dealing with a deep tank and also deep shaft. So we will not allow our officer or personnel to walk on their own because of we just in case if ada incident or accident happen, then they will have at least one witness or one buddy to get help lah. So of course, for the visitors, we will not allow for them to touch any machineries or process equipments, panel boards, or chemicals. So we proceed. May I know if any of the students confused with the terminology of sewer, sewage, and sewerage? Can anyone of you volunteer? Anyone participate? I will send gift to Dr. Noor Ashikin
Oh. Yeah, anyone?
to send to the students, please. Because it seems a very simple words, but happen to be my interns or it happened to be like students visit when I ask them, macam they are confused with these words lah. Even if you see in the newspaper, they are also or the minister speech, they are also some of them they mismatch these words lah. Anyone? Oh, this class memang senyap when you
Yeah,
talk
I
in
have
front.
to prompt them. You can we receive answer in the chat box once you click?
Yes,
Okay, anyone
please.
who wants to answer what is sewer, what is sewerage, what else once you click? Sewage, yes.
Sewage, yes.
Sewage.
Yes.
Okay, you can drop your
Please.
answer in the chat box if you are shy to shout. Tak ada juga.
Okay. This is
Ada
a
ni, dia
one-way.
tidur.
Ke semua online tapi okay, good one. We have one participant. Sewage is waste material. Yes, but not really accurate. Please, anyone, don't be so the boring student, please.
I'm sure you guys have studied last 2 weeks, right? What is sewage? I have introduced during the lecture.
Oh, okay. So you did inform them, is it, Doctor?
Yes, I introduced some of the terminologies lah for them to differentiate sewage and all this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Apparently, no one wants to. Okay, sewage, the wastewater carried by sewer system. Almost there. Sewer. Okay, see here, you mentioned a sewer system. um, in our industry, sewer is not a system. Sewer is actually a pipe. So the pipe itself, we call it sewer, the pipes that convey the sewage. Sewage, yes, a waste. So, but yeah, good. Sewerage is the facility. Yes, sewerage is the system. Sewerage is the system including the sewer pipe and the manhole shaft until the inlet pumping station or inlet of the incoming of the treatment plant itself. That's what we consider lah. But for the sewage, yes, a domestic wastewater, yes. Wastewater for us is consists of both black and grey water lah. But usually they are like local authorities that we consider sewage as the black water only. Some industry they consider wastewater is the grey water only. But for this centralized system, we convey both wastewater, both grey and black water into our sewer pipe. Then it will until the treatment plant. Then it covered the whole system lah. Do you ever anyone knows the difference between isolated system and centralized system? Next one, isolated system and centralized system. Anyone have any ideas?
Any answer?
Okay, another question. Anyone lives or stay at the Kuching city center or Petrajaya area?
I live in Petrajaya.
Is it? Where about?
Astana.
Okay, so you aware with the blue hoardings along Jalan from Bulatan Kipali until Noma.
Yes, yes.
So that is our project lah. So we are just go back to the slide. So this is isolated system, the conventional one, where we only have a septic tank behind of our house, which only treat the black water waste from our toilet bowls lah. So when we flush, this water will go into the septic tank and then will be dislodged by the local council. In Kuching centralized project, we covers area under DBKU and MBKS. So DBKU and MBKS will do the dislodging works at least once in 4 years. Then they will send it to the septic sludge treatment plant. Then this plant will treat this black water effluent. It will discharge to the river, but the cake, the sludge, they will send it to the sanitary landfill. On the other hand, for the grey water, this will be directly discharged into the perimeter drain behind our house, eventually into the big drain, tepi jalan besar, and then sampai ke sungai. So you can see from the isolated system, it is actually only partial treatment of the wastewater. Okay. So for centralized system, we no longer need the septic tank. We no longer need the dislodging works by the local council, and we no longer need the perimeter drain to discharge our waste. So perimeter drain eventually will only collect rainwater. So this is what we want to go way forward in the future, like in Japan. So you can see it went viral few years ago that in Japan they can apa bela ikan in the perimeter drain lah, but unfortunately it can be done here so far, not until everyone changed their attitude or connected into the centralized system lah. Okay, so what we do, we we install or we construct the sewer pipe from the houses. We retrofit the piping at these houses, and we connect it through a true gravity flow of sewer network, and it will goes into the centralized sewage treatment plant. So you can see we no longer need the dislodging work. So it's maintenance wise, it saves quite a lot, and also we save some space lah, because you can see what we have encountered before, especially rumah-rumah lama in Jalan Green or Rubber Road or old housing lah in city center. Most of these people are from now they are like 70s or 80s. So when we visit the house, apparently they have extended the house, and they even, because last time the septic tank was protruded on the ground, unlike now septic tank is underground. But last time the old housing system, the septic tank is protruded on the ground. So when they extend the house, they convert the septic tank into a so-called dining area. So they even tile it up jadi counter or island lah. So hygienically, it's not really hygiene lah actually, even though you covered it. But at the end of the day, when it full, it has to be dislodged. But when they tile it up very nicely, so the local council, they cannot proceed with all these services lah. So actually the septic tank is inefficient, that they just being the, so no treatments being no treatments, and the effluent discharge from that septic tank is actually very septic, and it flows to the drain into the river, so it's really bad for the river itself. Okay, so antara benefits of the centralized system, of course it reduces the amount of untreated waste, and then it remove odor from the open drains, because no more discharge into the perimeter drain lah. So uh, not really, tidak ada bau lah, you know, orang Sarawak panggil bau juruk. If ada orang Melaya kah? Kan semua orang Sarawak di student. Dr. Nok Shikin, I know you are from Peninsula, right?
Hey, I'm from Sarawak.
Is it?
Yes, yes.
Oh, kami ingat kita orang orang Semenanjung. Okay. And then bila ada centralized system, we minimize the risk of waterborne disease. So especially now when we are in the so-called now endemic lah, but last time masa pandemic, we never know. There are studies being conducted whether our feces or our air kencing ada COVID or not lah. But can you imagine if ada COVID, then you know usually orang especially lelaki kencing dalam toilet berdiri, then it splash. Or even girls lah, when they're kencing, you know, it splash here and there, we cannot see. Then it is ada risk lah of the waterborne disease. Okay. Uh, because it will lessen the pollutants into the Sarawak River, then it can provide an attractive and safe venue for recreational activities. So in Sarawak River itself, we know that usually ada regatta annual program by the state. So um, hopefully the river water will be improved lah over the time. Okay. So Kuching Wastewater Management System, I have a video here, but I'm not sure. I'll just share it with sekejap. Eh. Eh. Boleh tanggalkan video tu?
Yes, we can view. But
Ada dengar bunyi kah?
bunyi tak ada.
Kuching City Central
Oh, yeah.
Wastewater
Now we can hear.
System, Stage 1, was implemented on 15th October 2008. This unique project, requiring high level of expertise, was undertaken by turnkey contractor Kumpulan Nishimatsu Hokseng Lee, or K&H Consortium.
Ada dengarnya pun bunyi juga kah?
Yes, we can hear.
So I'll just play this video for maybe 4 minutes, and then we go back to the presentation, okay?
The project involved the laying of an underground sewage pipeline system, encompassing 5 areas located mainly within the Kuching city south. It covers a total of 64 kilometers of sewer network using gravity flow, which channels wastewater to a wastewater treatment plant with a capacity of 100,000 population equivalent, or PE. In order to ensure the task was implemented on time and with only minimal disruption to the city, the consortium adopted the state-of-the-art Frenchless tunneling method, following in-depth studies on the successful completion of similar projects overseas. With this proven method, the consortium procured by far the largest fleet of tunnel boring machines in Southeast Asia to deliver the job and to fulfill the government's stringent standards. This brought in an unprecedented scale of technology transfer, involving more than 18 million ringgit worth of machinery and technology, acquired from Germany, Japan, Taiwan, and Singapore. The wastewater treatment plant was handed over in January 2012, while the main sewer line was completed in April 2013. The sewerage system was officially operational in July 2013. The project achieved many milestones, including a 280-meter under-river pipe jacking tunnel, the longest in Borneo, the deepest inlet pumping station in Malaysia, at 27 meters deep, and an impressive 2.5 million man-hours of construction work without any lost time injury. Combining the technical expertise and resources of the K&H Consortium, this first ever centralized sewerage system in East Malaysia was completed on schedule and within budget. With the successful completion of Package 1, covering mainly Kuching City South, the many benefits of this modern sewerage system should be extended to residents of Kuching City North. As part of the Kuching Wastewater Management Master Plan, The proposed Package 2 Zone 1 will include, firstly, the construction of a northern main trunk sewer spine totaling 7 kilometers across the Petra Jaya area, running parallel to the currently completed main trunk sewer line located to the south of the river. This will form a complete ring for the sewer network. Secondly, Package 2 will include the expansion of the existing wastewater treatment plant by an additional 100,000 PE. The new sewer line will be connected to a new inlet pumping station located at the existing treatment plant, thus expanding the sewer network to include both the city north and south. Thirdly, this package includes property connection of additional 42,000 PE, consisting of 18,500 PE at Kuching South, covering mainly commercial shophouses in the city center, along Jalan Abel, Jalan Banhok, Jalan Padungan, and Jalan Tabuan, while the remaining 23,500 PE at Kuching North, covering mainly residential areas at Kampung Gita and Kubaharia, along the proposed northern trunk sewer. As these areas are located at the most upstream point, they will provide sufficient flushing volume to maintain flow along the trunk sewer. Along with the northern trunk sewer, large institutions such as Norma Medical Specialist Center, Wisma Custom, Baitul Makmur, and Wisma Bapa Malaysia will be connected. Property connection work will be carried out progressively, beginning with higher density areas. Economically, the government enjoys long-term cost savings, as it can pass on all pipe connection costs to individual developers within the city area in the future. K&H Consortium's vast experience and technical expertise acquired from Package 1 makes it the most suitable candidate for the implementation of the proposed Package 2. The consortium's massive investment in specialized machinery for tunneling work means it can mobilize immediately, thus ensuring timely delivery of the project while adhering to the standard and budget stipulated by the government. With the implementation of Package 2, Kuching City will be one step closer towards realizing the vision of a clean and healthy waterway for the enjoyment of its residents in the near future.
Okay. So you've seen the video just now. It's basically what actually we do in the department and the plant operation lah. So we go back to our Kuching Centralized Wastewater Project. As per you've seen just now dalam video, it's covered the Kuching Centralized Wastewater Management Package 1 and Package 2, which is still under construction. So apart from that, we also have completed the connection of Darul Hana development into our KCFTP as well. Darul Hana development is a state government project for resettlement lah of the kampung people tepi-tepi sungai Sarawak, but then they have yet to move in lah. So this is a little bit background of the project. So package 1, we have the main contractor, K&H, Kumpulan Nishimatsu Hokusang Lee, and the consultant is Jutra Jasa Sdn Bhd, with the cost of 530 million. So we have another smaller one of Darul Hana development, cost about 17 million. The works were carried out by Maximus Holdings Sdn Bhd, and the consultant is Consortium Malaysia, completed in 2019. Then we have this package 2 project, costs about 750 million. So as of February, the progress is about 58%. So roughly until 31st December 2021, we have connected, we have about 99,000 PE connected into our package 1 existing treatment plant lah. So this is the map, the layout of the area coverage. You can see it from the video as well just now. So you can see dalam the scope of work, the main trunk for both projects is roughly about 15 kilometer. So our main trunk consists of 1.5 and 1.2 diameter pipe. So for secondary, roughly about 9 kilometer, consists of 600 and 450 millimeter pipe. And our tertiary, more than 100 kilometer, consists of 300 mm and 225 mm diameter pipe. For properties, we are connecting more than 6,000 now, and more to go lah in the future, in the next 2 years. So going back to the centralized CSTP, the wastewater treatment plant itself, usually if you visit our treatment plant, you will stay at this visitor center, number 8. So we have this inlet pumping station. Then we have this headworks. We have this ASR, activated sludge reactor. We have this secondary clarifier. This is the wetland. 4 ponds. We have dewatering building where we produce the sludge cake. Operation building where the administration and the operation, how they monitor the process. Visitor center, it was site office initially during the construction, but then during the handover, the site office is still looks good. Then we take over from the contractor and convert it into our visitor center lah. So this is the guard house, the entrance. So these are the package 2 duplicates building that antara scope of work in package 2 lah, the extension of another 100,000 PE. Then this is the Daruhana development, part of Daruhana development. For the treatment process, when the influent comes into our IPS, inlet pumping station, this inlet pumping station, it is about 27 meter depth. So roughly about 10 stories building underground. Okay. So we have IPS, and then it will flows into the fine screen to screen all the smaller bits of debris yang terlepas daripada core screen, and also it will screen grids, pasir, batu-batu kecil, hairs, and also oil and grease. Then moving forward to the ASR, this is where the biological treatments start to kick in, where we give aeration, and some of the tank we just switch off the aeration so that it can do some nitrification, denitrification processes. Then it flows into the secondary clarifier, where at the secondary clarifier, we will separate the top clear water jadi effluent and discharge it to the wetland. But the bottom one, when the sludge settle at the bottom, we will pump this sludge into the dewatering building. We add in some polymer to do the mixing, to do the dewatering. Then the cake will be sent to Mambung Sanitary Landfill. As for the air lebihan daripada dewatering building, we will channel it back to the ASR and to be reused lah, recycle. So this is how it looks like. Influent pumping station. The diameter is about 20-meter diameter of size, but 27-meter depth. So this is where the collection of sewage being carried out lah. So the coarse bar screen or trash rack to trap the large debris at the inlet screen. Headworks, like I mentioned just now, it removes the floatable grids and suspended solid yang dapat di-filter lah. Whatever yang tidak dapat di-filter, then it will flow into the ASR. ASR, where the biological treatment, we provide DO so that the microorganism ada oksigen untuk membiak and makan lebih banyak organic matter. Then it will remove organic solid, BOD, and nitrogen. Okay, and also with a healthy microorganism, it can also improve the sludge suitability. Here, secondary clarifier, it has a very slow wing arm that we say that it will scrap off all the floatables scum and channel it into the scum box untuk diproses. Tapi there are also ada weir at the tank untuk mengeluarkan air yang lebih jernih lah. So that with the weir, it will tahan scum yang terapung, yang lebih besar. Then we have to manually remove it from the tank. Dewatering building, for here, for our process, we reduce the water content in the sludge for production of dry sludge at minimum of 20% dry solid. This is based on the MSIG lah. It's also a requirement by the Department of Environment. We do sludge thickening, we add in polymer untuk memudahkan dewatering process. And the cake sludge akan dihantar pergi ke Mambung Sanitary Landfill. Untuk wetland, this is actually we considered a tertiary treatment where if you visit some of the treatment plants, ada yang they just discharge it directly daripada effluent discharge point terus pergi ke nearby river or parit berdekatan. Or like in Semenanjung, there are plants that they install UV just in case if ada outbreak, then they can switch on this UV, then at least improve the effluent discharge lah. Tapi here in KCSTP, we adopt lah wetland to be our tertiary treatment just in case of emergency, of course, because we have a bigger land. But then kalau yang the land is very limited, then you can have other option for the tertiary treatment lah. At this wetland also give us the indicator whether our effluent quality is good or getting worse or getting better. We have fishes in this lake and also lotus lah. This lotus kalau pagi membesar dengan jayanya, then we know that the water quality is very good. But now I think most in lack of maintenance also, all these lotus are not there anymore. Tapi we have a lot of fishes in the lake itself. So in case of emergency, we will convert this wetland jadi oxidation pond. Okay. It depends. It depends on the performance and the parameters lah. If you can see here, this is our effluent quality dalam bulan March. So we have appointed an accredited third-party lab to do our sampling weekly, complying with Standard A EQA Regulation 2009 lah. It is a requirement for a treatment plant to do a sampling and notify DOE on all the result lah. So if you can see here for Standard A, minimum is 20 milligram per liter, but our effluent, when we do the test, it's less than 2 milligram per liter. For COD, 120 milligram maximum that you can discharge, tapi we only discharge lesser than that. Same goes with the rest lah. You see all NGs also, maximum allowed is 5 milligram per liter, but we discharge lesser than that. For sewer network, I've mentioned this just now. We have tertiary, secondary, and main trunk. Okay. So these are the total number of kilometer of sewer pipes that we are monitoring and maintaining lah. About 110, 20, 35, 130, 140 lah kilometer. It's going to increase over the month lah, sebab the package 2 project is ongoing. Then they lay pipes every day at for the tertiary line lah and secondary. These are the number of blockage that we have received since we took over the treatment plant, the operation and maintenance of the centralized system. If you can see here, the public in 2017, there's a lot of public complaint because they are not used to the system. Like, because last time, bila you flush, you only flush and you never bother where it goes. Sometimes they just flush whatever that they flush. Some even flush chemical, minyak, semua dalam toilet bowl. Then it will affect the efficiency of your septic tank. But if you flush it into the centralized system, it will not affect your septic system because you are connected centralized to the centralized system. So you will affect the whole of the sewer system. So if your neighbor, say your neighbor at the downstream, they didn't maintain or abuse the centralized system, buang apa-apa yang tidak sepatutnya lah, seperti what we have encountered before. I think rambut is normal, tapi rambut is one of the major cause to the sewer blockage lah. If you shower, especially ladies, kalau you shower, then your hair, you can see at the floor trap, you can see a lot of hair at the floor trap. Ada certain rumah, because of the floor trap prevent the rambut masuk dalam, then it stuck at the floor trap, they even took it off. So this hair eventually akan masuk dalam kita punya sewer system lah, which is not good for our operation and maintenance wise. And also condom is very normal, especially maybe highly likely from the hotels. Sampah, wet wipes, tisu basah, usually kita kencing, ada yang prefer pakai tisu rather than bidet. So this tisu basah also cause a lot of headache to us lah during our operation and maintenance work. Sisa minyak from the eateries outlet is the major one, because kalau minyak bercampur dengan feces, and sisa makanan like nasi or lemak ayam, sayur, and then it hardens. Because centralized system, it will not 24 hours flushing. It depends on how many people use it lah. Tapi malam maybe semua orang tidur, so less water flow. So it may stuck at some points of the sewer network. Until tomorrow morning, bila semua orang mandi, mau pergi kerja, then ada lagi the flushing effect lah. Then it move all this sisa fat, oil and grease slowly into the sewer system and eventually into the wastewater treatment plant. So we adapt the tunneling method. This is what you've seen. If you pass by jalan dari bulatan Norma, dari bangunan Zikon Tol lah, dari jalan tol sampai Wisma Bapa and then towards Masjid and then sampai ke Norma, bulatan Kipali sampai Kampung Gita. We have received a lot of complaints from daripada owner rumah to the minister level. Semua complain because they thought that it is an abandoned project because no one works there. The shaft is here and there, so it disrupt jalan, belok sana, belok sini. But actually, we are doing the shaft untuk standby for the jacking of pipes. So we cannot buat shaft bila kita mau jack saja. It will slow down because actually what consume time, yang paling banyak consume time dalam construction of this sewer network adalah the construction of the shaft itself. Untuk jacking part, tunneling works, it's not as lama as the shaft construction lah. So that's why the contractor have to sink down shaft here and there to make sure that the soil nearby stable before they do the jacking works. So they are this is what they do. They do the jacking shaft. They dig down slowly until they reach the proposed invert level. Both sides jacking and receiving. So jacking shaft will be a bit bigger than the receiving shaft because that's where the machineries of this jacking or tunneling machines will put in. Then it will jack the pipe slowly sampai ke next shaft, receiving shaft. So that's why bila you tengok the hoarding, the blue hoarding, now they are converting it into white hoarding. Walaupun ada mesin dekat hoarding berkenaan, meaning that it's an active works is ongoing. So maybe after few months, it doesn't mean that they are completed the work. After they do the jacking, then they have to build this manhole up. After they build this manhole up, then they have to backfill the in between the shaft and the manhole. Then baru dia ada, then they will clear it out lah. Then they will reinstate. Especially in Kampung Gita area because they get used to a very I stay in Kampung Gita last time lah. So we used to, it's a kampung environment, you know, that petang-petang budak main dekat luar. But now with all this excavation here and there, so they complain that it's very risky for the kids to play outside. Jalan pun jadi from one lane two way, now jadi one lane only, that both untuk pakai two way. They are not, how do we say it? They are not being informed what are the progress of the works lah. So this is a trenchless construction using it. Initially, this one you can see they are methods of concrete ring. It cast layer by layer, but here you can see the materials is different. It use steel casing, case on. Ada juga we lay the sewer network using open cut lah. For depth less than 2 meter, we use open cut. So roles and responsibility of our unit, operation and maintenance unit, we have all the same unit for every, no, we have the same section for every unit. Ada setiap unit, Kuching, Miri and Bintulu, ada operation and maintenance section lah. So what we do, untuk treatment plant operation, of course, we process the monitoring and daily operation in terms of performance of the plant, whether the parameters are at the optimum level. And then we do also PPM, predictive and preventive maintenance, where we do the maintenance for M&E and I works. We do sewer network maintenance. If ada blockage, then the public will call us and we will send our men to do the clearing. Routine maintenance work, the general one, clearing and cleaning works. We have compound maintenance work, grass cutting. And then we also have building maintenance work and waylift application. And we do administrative works like public relation, contohnya like this one lah. This is part of our PR works where we do educational talk, not even to UNIMAS, not even only to UNIMAS. We do even to other agency yang interest to visit us lah. We also assist UNIMAS student doing PhD for their research. These are the contoh-contoh kerja-kerja yang terlibat di dalam operation works. Of course, we have 3 shifts of 8 hours. So pagi, petang, and malam lah. So they monitor the reading, the panel. We are actually monitoring it using a SCADA system. SCADA system where there's a software installed lah, where they can switch on and off the equipments or machineries just using the computer. But sometimes they also need to visit the panel or the equipments just to see whether, just in case, if it's not functioning well lah. So in 2021, we have carried out 52 numbers of sampling. So none of it yang so far tidak ada non-compliance lah. Only if you can see sludge dryness, we only carried out 51 numbers because there was 1 week of maintenance of the dewatering building. So the maintenance of the hopper, so they cannot get any sample to be tested lah. Sewer network maintenance, we do periodic inspection, especially at the hotspot area. We also repair the major sewer. We do clearing blockages. We flush. Also manhole level adjustment, if any lah. And also manhole cover replacement, if ada yang hilang lah. So these are contoh-contoh kerja-kerja yang dilakukan. These are considered as the 3D work, dirty, dangerous, and apa lagi satu? Difficult. So for safety and security, we send our personnel pergi Kosh di Nayosh to get the AESP certification lah before they involved in sewer network or the plant maintenance work lah, because manholes are considered as confined space. Also for our IPS lah, sebab you only have one exit. So there have to be briefed or exposed to safety and health knowledge regarding confined space. These are the compound maintenance work, clearing works, public relation. So if the Noah Shikin can see some of your students here, I believe, or engineering punya,
Yeah,
course.
that was our trip last, I think last 2 years.
Oh, this is you, is it?
Yes,
Next to the
yes.
yellow one.
Yeah.
Is it the same to do now?
No, no.
Other than this, we also have other treatment plants in Miri. So in Miri, this is a new one, recently completed last year. Despite COVID thing, we also managed to took over one of the plant lah. Tapi if you see in Miri, it's the process lebih kurang. Not lebih kurang, tapi the secondary treatment using extended aeration. So this is the operation building. In Kuching, we have headworks, but in Miri, we have this aerated grid, grease, and secondary screening. In Kuching, we have ASR. In Miri, we have aeration tank. So sludge holding tank, clarifiers. In Kuching, we have a high. The tank is on the ground, tapi dekat Miri it's underground. In Kuching we have wetland, tapi di Miri we have effluent disinfection tank. We don't have wetland in Miri lah. Why the designers or consultant did not propose a wetland in Miri? Because of the river source untuk discharge jauh, so they just discharge it to the perimeter outside earth drain. Then eventually this earth drain akan jadi the so-called tertiary treatment lah before it reach the river. So we have SSTP. This is the isolated one, Miri Septic Sludge Treatment Plant, where here we have using SBR, sequence batch reactor, SBR process. If you see centralized system and septic sludge treatment plant, the size is I think way smaller lah. SSTP is smaller because of, for SBR especially, you only need one tank untuk process everything. Tapi in batch. Untuk SSTP, it runs 8 to 5 office hour. So operator after 5 sudah boleh balik, because they can set the timer for all these processes and aeration lah. So pagi they will receive all the sludge at the sludge reception unit. This sludging tank will disludge dia punya isi perut lah dalam in here. So reception unit will do the screening of the large debris, and then dia akan masuk dalam incoming pump sump. Then it goes to the SBR tank. Masa SBR, we fill in, and then we aerate, and then for certain hours, and then we stop the aeration and we leave it to settle. Usually untuk settlement, they do it at night so that no operators needed lah. Then we have the watering cake, a smaller one, tidak perlu one whole building. And then we have pond. Ini pond also for emergency purpose lah. Sibu sama size, sama juga pakai apply SBR process. Cuma in Miri, if you see in Miri guna rectangular tank. Tapi di Sibu we use circular tank. We have also we have taken over Bintulu asset as well, sewerage asset lah. Starting 1st of January 2021, we took over Bintulu daripada BDA. Then they have a lot of pumping station and lift station, 80 numbers. If you see in Kuching, we only have one. Tapi dalam lah. Tapi in terms of maintenance wise, we only need to maintain one pumping station with few numbers of pumps, rather than 80 numbers of pumps with few numbers of pump, more than 200 pumps that we need to maintain. Caused a lot of headache to BDA initially lah, but now we took over, we slowly plan how we want to get rid of these numbers of pumps lah. We have oxidation pond in Bintulu, we have this Tanjung Batu STP, also a centralized system. Tapi Bintulu centralized system, tapi guna SBR. Okay, so basically that's what I present, what I share with you, what we do in operation and maintenance unit of Kuching section lah. So we maintain Kuching centralized wastewater, Kuching centralized sewage treatment plant, and also the sewer network. So that's it. If you have any questions, you can just ask or you can type if malu. But why you need to malu? You are in the learning process.
All right. Thank you very much, Puan Siti, for a very interesting talk. I'd like to know more about the behind the scenes. There's so many new things for me. All this while we just know about, like the theory of wastewater, but it's interesting to see some of the pictures from your side. Okay,
Yes.
so students, if you have any questions, you can ask, you can talk to Puan Siti now, or you can drop the questions in the chat box. This is the time for you to ask the expert in wastewater, anything that you're not clear.
Please ask me questions. I like students who ask a lot of questions,
My students are, very, very shy. It's very difficult for me to get them to talk in front of here. Okay.
Pandemic student.
Puan Siti, what do you see will be? Oh yeah, there is a question. Can you recommend how can we discard the grease from cooking for household?
Okay.
Good question. Yeah.
Yes, a very good questions. Usually we promote this kind of thing as well. It depends. If you want some money back, you can actually sell your used cooking oils. They are company who use these cooking oils for, it's either for their research or for them to make soap. They are companies doing this. So I can share with you later on the contact number. You can just call them and collect. Tapi kalau sikit-sikit macam student, rumah sewa, usually you just buang dalam sink, right? So no, it's not good. So what you do, you simpan dalam botol. botol cola ke, botol apa-apa botol lah. Then you tutup, then you just buang dalam tong sampah. Or you can also get oil thickener. Ada jual dekat Daiso. Usually these Japanese people they don't throw minyak dalam sink, okay? Minyak is the one that membuatkan you punya wastewater jadi bau. Kalau tai, you berak, masa you berak saja ada tai. Once you flush it, pergi septic tank, you buka septic tank, bau ada bau tapi bukan bau tai lah, dia bau tanah. Because it's biodegradable. Tapi kalau you letak minyak dalam you punya septic tank, it will be forever bau tai dalam you punya septic tank. Same goes with kalau you tengok kedai makan. That's why for me, I've been working with this department for 11 years now. Masuk unit to unit. So I think since I joined the operation unit, I banned some of the eateries outlet in Kuching. Because why? I will not say it which kedai makan lah. But if you run or if your family run any kedai makan, please advise them to install a grease interceptor. It's actually a requirement by the local council. Tapi local council still baik hati lah. Kalau you tidak install, they just close one eyes lah. Tapi actually without this grease interceptor, you akan tengok kedai makan itu ada bau dekat luar, especially dekat parit lah. The famous kedai makan also yang ada food court, yang ada banyak stall dan kedai makan itu hanya provide air. These are the kedai makan yang bila ada blockage, happen lah, we encounter few event. Bila we encounter blockage, we open up, we show to them what are the causes of the blockage. Bila korek-korek, we jumpa mangkuk sambal, we jumpa sudu, gafu, lemak ayam penyet, we jumpa noodles, or clump with tai and minyak. So this yang akan bau. So apparently the eateries operator or manager or owner lah, they just simply take this bowl or sabun, wash it and put it back in the sink. Of course, by the thought of washing it, maybe dah bersih lah. But I am coming from this field. I know the content of what caused the blockage. So you letak balik the sudu in the sink. So I ban, I think more than 10 lah kedai makan in Kuching. So you better watch carefully kedai makan yang you pergi. Ada juga yang famous one. I feel like, oh, the famous one yang ada, especially yang ada banyak minyak lah. You have to check. So that's why for me, if I go out with my husband, I will never lalu belakang kedai dia. Kalau lalu belakang, I saw the the manhole or inspection chamber belakang kedai dia ada grease, that definitely kedai ceridak lah kata orang Sarawak. Please go back to your question, the grease from cooking. It's also you can put sand. You sedia 1 sen, beli sen dekat kedai maybe RM1, RM2, you put it in a container. So whenever ada minyak yang use oil, you just buang dalam that container lah. Sampai certain masa, maybe 3 months, 6 months, then you just dispose this sand dalam tong sampah ataupun tong sampah lah. You don't dispose dekat tanah lah. Lebih bau lah kalau dekat tanah. Good
So
question.
the treatment plant SSD now, it covers like how much percentage of Kuching? Like
Oh, that one, I think I cannot give you the accurate one at the moment, but because population also increase,
Yes.
our connection also increase. So, but they are figures that we expected to reach lah, based on our master plan. Okay, any more questions?
Yeah. Any more questions, students? So what you will see, like maybe in terms of the improvement of the treatment plant in 10 or 20 years in the future, is there any new thing to be introduced or advanced
Yes,
system?
for the treatment plant itself, based on our master plan, it's supposed to be the land itself can occupy for 400,000 PE of uh, apa population lah. Tapi at the same time, we also have another location untuk a new treatment plant to cover the other area. Tapi in terms of improvement works, we have planned some green technologies. At the moment, we are having some lah, because the effluent, we use the effluent untuk our internal usage as well. So macam cuci-cuci longkang, so we don't use the clean water supply.
Oh, yeah.
We use our effluent, and also we harvest using the rainwater harvesting as well to do the cooling of the pump. And now we are planning to install a turbine at the effluent, so that this turbine can generate electricity to run the plant itself. So eventually we have plans in the future so that this plant to be how do we say it, very saving lah.
It generates electricity for ni lah in return kan?
Yes, yes. In Semenanjung, if you learn or if you study about this Pantai 2 treatment plant, it's an underground treatment plant where it caters of 1 million PE of people in Klang Valley lah. They use the sludge to produce methane. Tapi untuk our sludge, not enough lah, not enough to process. Kalau we process pun, the cost of the process is more than the methane produced itself. So we are not proceeding with that lah.
So
Tapi
how many?
in Miri, apa?
Yeah, just wondering like how many plants in Malaysia that have the one that generate the methane?
In Semenanjung ada banyak, because in KL, you know, the population is very condensed, sangat padat. So banyak contribution lah. Not only see your Thai also contribute to the country actually. So now in Miri, we are doing we are planning to do a research of how we can use this sludge untuk dijadikan sebagai fertilizer untuk sawit. So that kita akan guna semuanya hasil-hasil yang kita buang lah, yang kita buang, not only bahan buangan, tapi also bahan yang kita buang dari badan. So recycle lah. Tapi it needs research. See if your student also ada interest to do research using our sludge, our wastewater, our effluent, we welcome them.
Oh, yeah lah. That one is very interesting area to explore kan?
Yes, because in the future sampai bila kita nak buang the sludge at the sanitary landfill sampai jadi bukit, and then what's next?
Yeah, correct.
So that's the way forward actually. Banyak student, based on my intern itself lah, initially they are not interested in this kind of wastewater. They are more to engineers, engineers get setakat kerja di logi, nothing much that you can show off, So usually they want to be a road engineer so that they can work with the pan bonyo. They want to be a structural engineer because structural seems very difficult. So, tapi in the market now, you see in the market, it is saturated with all these engineers. Tapi untuk process engineers or environmentalists, banyak, tapi belum cukup banyak untuk, especially in Sarawak lah. So you students out there, please, if you have interest, because environmentally, it happens forever. You need to maintain the environment forever. Kalau jalan, sampai the whole Kuching develop, then there's no project jalan anymore. So you have to pergi tempat lain lah, so that baru ada kerja. Building also the same. Like in KL, there are so many buildings that they don't need you anymore. The structural engineer lah, unless the building ada cracks and so on. But that one requires a specialist or experts, not just an ordinary engineer yang fresh grad lah. So students out there, please join us in environmental.
That is actually this course is all about environmental biotech. And the students have to ponder something from this. What is our role in conserving the environment?
Yes, especially people in Semenanjung also thought that Sarawak have many river. Why you don't make use of it? So locally, not many lah in the industry that can assist or help us lah. So that's why we are glad that Unimas ada send, I think 1 or 2 student. KKM also now sending one of their PhDs to do research lah with our wastewater.
Oh, okay. Right, it's a very interesting thing to ponder. Okay.
Yes.
It seems like there's no more question from the student. Wait, just I
Yes.
right. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
It's
Just in
wonderful, right?
case if you have any more question yang you malu, then you can email me or you can WhatsApp also can lah. I'm glad that I can students lah if any of you wants to help to get help lah. Okay?
Right.
Okay.
So,
Thank you again, Dr. Narashkin, for inviting
yeah,
me.
thank you very much. We are very, very honored to have you to listen to, like from the expert about this area, because it's a very interesting thing and it's related to our field as biotechnologies as well. Okay, so last but not least, I would like to have a group photo. Is it possible, Wan Siti?
Yes. Boleh.
Okay, everyone.
I
Anyone
also need a copy so that I can attach to my pengarah punya that one lah.
Okay, sure. Okay, anyone who wants to join us, please turn on your webcam. At least Wan Siti
Then
knows that there are some
switch on
people
your
behind
camera.
all these numbers, this metric number ni. Okay, please turn on your webcam.
Oh.
You can have a group photo. Ada ke orang ni? Ke tak ada orang? At least ada wakil ke satu screen ke cukup lah. Satu screen ada gambar.
Come on, guys. It's so easy to study now, your age. I think, Dr. Ashikin, I'm not sure on your batch lah, tapi my batch, I am the last batch thesis manually, not depending on Google thing. So we have to
work very hard on that.
Yes, we have to read a lot of books and articles.
Yeah.
Now
My
student,
time is
they
still, I
don't know
still
what to
use
learn also.
book as well lah. I still rely on textbooks quite a lot. Okay. Lagi? Yang tak dapat tak apa, it's okay. So siapa yang free, siapa yang nak join group photo?
Are they all at home or ada dekat campus?
They're not at the campus.
Oh,
Sebab final year student, they have to do their final year project. So they have to be in the campus lah.
okay.
Okay. Lagi? Tu je. Ada berapa page ni?
Oh, sweet spotting lah kita orang tu.
Morning class kot. Pukul 8, pukul ngantuk. Ngantuk.
Banyak orang Sarawak kah? Anyone, please, anyone yang ada stay in Kampung Gita or Petrajaya area yang affected by the project.
Not sure how many of them are from Kuching. Ada dari Kuching ke? Yeah, any more?
Tunjuklah muka sikit. Macam ni nak kerja. Mun pukul 10 pun masih belum mandi. Kelak nak kerja pukul 8 dah di office.
Oh, ada ramai-ramai join lah, ramai-ramai tu join. Sekali. Dia at the hostel ni, so dia orang ramai-ramai kot. Sekali kan. Okay, tu je ke? Okay, at least lah ada wakil kan.
Okay. Later you share with me Doctor.
Sure, no problem. Okay,
I have a sister, lecturer in Unimas also.
Oh, which faculty?
Economy, FEB.
FAP, okay. Nama? Nama?
No, Afiza.
Oh, belum saya kenal. Mungkin pula ada jumpa. Okay. Tak apa, yang lain yang pergi lecture tak apa. Okay. So now, yang ni yang ambil gambar. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yeah. I nak tulis nombor. Okay, one more. Okay. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
For
you.
your cooperation. Okay, thank you again to Puan Siti Rabia for your very interesting talk and for your availability to be with us. I think it's going to be an annual event lah. Every year we will invite SSD to give a talk.
Boleh.
All right. With that,
Thank you everyone.
have a nice day, everyone. Yeah, have a nice day, Puan Siti. Yeah.
Yes. Selamat
Looking forward.
berpuasa also.
Yeah. Selamat puasa. Looking forward to see you again. Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. Bye. Yeah. Have a nice day.